Hi, welcome to the first of the MackHack series of webinars that are going to introduce our facilitator, Aaron Birkby, and he's going to be taking you through some information that's going to make your MackHack experience fantastic. Thanks, Aaron. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, and welcome everyone. I hope you're excited about MackHack. I appreciate some of you who might tune in and watch this may have already registered, and for some of you it might be a bit of an exploration to see your fit for the event and just find out a little bit more. So my name's Aaron. I'll be the facilitator for MackHack. I've facilitated about 60 of these types of things before, so hopefully you're in safe hands. I absolutely love them because they're just an amazing opportunity to connect with others and have an experience and have a lot of fun while getting to build some awesome stuff in the process. So I thought I'd share, first of all, just exactly what MackHack is. And I have some slides that you'll be able to see in the background, but I'll also share them with the group, obviously, as well. But it's basically a weekend event. So we kick off on a Friday afternoon into the evening, and people come together, they'll hear about the challenges, they'll have a bit of an inspiration into, you know, what ideas could we work on, forming some teams. And then over the weekend, you actually have workshops, masterclasses, mentors to help you on the journey to actually build something. And the goal of this is to really validate some ideas, come up with some new products or services, come up with some new applications to solve these challenges for the sector. And then at the end of the weekend, on the Sunday night, we get you back together and you actually get to pitch to a panel of judges, a panel of industry experts and others. And you'll get instant feedback as well. And out of the weekend, there'll actually be some prizes. So we have some cool prizes, which I'll leave until the end, because I sort of want to emphasize as well that the weekend isn't just about the prizes. There's a lot of reasons why you should participate beyond just the potential to actually nab one of those prizes. So in terms of who should attend, who is the event for, it's really open to anyone. And that's the beauty of these things, is that you could be, you know, an engineer, you could be a hacker, you could be a programmer, you could be someone who tinkers with hardware, you could be, you know, have that maker type hat. So absolutely, if you're in one of those categories where you build things, you will absolutely fit in. But equally, we need designers, we need people who can add that creative flair, make things look great, but also add that experience, that user experience, that customer experience to the things that are being built. We also need people who are really good at analyzing things, who have that analytical mindset. They're good with data sets. They're great at looking at patterns. Perhaps you're into mathematics, perhaps you're into statistics, but maybe you just have that lens of critical thinking and analysis. Maybe you're more a hustler type. So maybe you're better suited to having conversations with lots of people to gather information, to ask the right questions, to be inquisitive and curious, to sell and to actually get feedback on concepts. I mean, it's all great that we have these great ideas, but are they actually needed? Are we solving a real problem? And are they actually needed? And are we solving it in the right way? And sometimes the only way to do that is to go and ask a lot of questions. So if you have that sort of hustler or inquisitive characteristic, you'd absolutely fit in as well. But then equally, we need a variety of perspectives. So perhaps you're from, you know, the mining sector and the mining industry, and you have that domain knowledge that you can speak to. Perhaps you're from a completely different sector, unrelated to mining altogether, but you can bring in that unique perspective. You could bring in the perspective of problems that you've solved in your particular sector and bring them in and apply that lens to the mining sector to solve these challenges that we're going about solving. It really doesn't matter what your skill set is, what your previous experience is, your age, your demographic, whatever. There's absolutely a role for you at the weekend. And we need all of those different opinions to come together. And the beauty of this event is it's a really safe space. So it's an environment where every idea gets a chance to be heard. Every point of view has a chance to be heard. We get to do things like experiment. So all of you will learn from each other as much as you'll learn from the mentors and the masterclasses. Which sort of brings me to why you should attend. So if you're a little bit unsure why you should attend, there's a lot of reasons, as I was saying, beyond just the prizes and the prize pool. So number one, you're going to have a lot of fun. So these events, it's part of my job is to make sure everyone has fun, but also you'll learn a lot. Through the 3 masterclass workshops that we run, you'll have an opportunity to be exposed to new ways of thinking, to new skill sets. And these skill sets, what we teach are basically techniques for converting any sort of idea into reality. And the beauty of that is you walk away with this ability that you can then take back into your normal day job. You can take back into a business, or you could develop the skills to actually launch a new idea or project. We'll also teach you things like prototyping. So how do we actually build things? Even if we're not technical, how can we build a technical prototype? How do we validate? And we'll also obviously have industry experts. You'll get a chance to learn about the industry. You'll obviously get exposure to the challenges and the problems that the industry is facing. So you'll have that contextual awareness as well. But as I was saying before, one of the great things that comes out of it is the peer-to-peer learning. So you'll meet a variety of people from very different backgrounds, from very different workplaces, who each have their own little unique skills and abilities. And by working with them on teams or just being exposed to them through conversation over the weekend, there'll be a lot of peer-to-peer knowledge transfer. So you're pretty much guaranteed to walk away learning something new and also having an opportunity to teach others. You'll make new friends. So the beauty of these events is spending this amount of time together in one place. You'll absolutely get to know each other really well, and you become connected and bonded. And afterwards, you'll typically stay connected. So I see this a lot with these sort of events. After the event, you will have made new friends, you'll stay connected, and that continuation of that learning journey together is really powerful. Other than that, we also feed you. So we look after you. You get access to the Wi-Fi, you get access to the power, you get access to food. We keep you hydrated. So you actually have everything taken care of for you for a weekend, which means, it removes all the decision fatigue from, all those little life decisions we have to make all the time. And it just enables you to stay in this really creative flow. It enables you to stay in a different mental headspace for the weekend. And that's really powerful because then we get to learn about ourselves. How do we perform under pressure? How do we perform when we interact with other people that we're not used to interacting with? And these are great soft skills, again, that you can take back into any other context in the future. You'll also get a chance to pitch. So even if you're not comfortable pitching or public speaking, there'll be opportunities for you to practice those skills or have input into the final pitch that the team prepares. And we lead you through, again, like pitch workshops. So how do you pitch? How do you even do an elevator pitch? We teach you some of the conversational styles to actually convey what it is you're working on as well. So there's lots of reasons to come along. One of the big ones, a draw card, is the prize pool as well. So there's $5,000 in cash that's actually within the prize pool, including $2,500 for first place. But more importantly, for those of you that really want to build something that has the opportunity to continue after the event, there is this opportunity for research and development post the weekend. And I think this is always the greatest thing that is maybe not always understood with these sort of events, is in this room, you'll have industry domain experts. You'll have the people that we bring in, the subject matter experts, the challenge owners from the industry, the sponsors and partners. And when you're working on something, here's an opportunity to actually solve their problems. And so obviously all of them are very interested in having their problems solved. So the opportunity for something to actually continue post-weekend is incredibly high through an event like this. So I encourage you to really look at the challenges as they're released. Look at your opportunity to solve those challenges and really think of this as an opportunity to build something way beyond the weekend. This could actually be something that has legs and ultimately could be quite a successful venture, or even if not a venture, it could be a successful product or service or system that gets adopted with inside one of these corporate partners from the mining industry. Outside of that, obviously some of you might have questions that you would like answered, and the team, so Deb and others are available. I'm also available anytime, so you can always reach out and ask questions in terms of any logistics around the event. I'll just answer some of the common, frequently asked questions that come up. So one that often comes up is, I don't have an idea, or I don't know if I can solve the challenges, or I'm not sure if I fit. And I hope I've sort of conveyed that everyone is welcome at this event. There's no criteria for entry other than please register and come along and come with an open mind. But more than anything, everyone is absolutely welcome. You don't have to have an idea. You don't have to have a great awareness of the industry sector or expertise in the sector. In fact, from my experience, the people who actually tend to win these sort of challenges are often coming with a unique perspective from a completely outside third-party experience. So you're all absolutely welcome. Another question that comes up often is, do I need to participate in the entire weekend? So yes, it's part of the spirit of the weekend is that you come along and participate in the entire thing. What we want to avoid is where participants come in and they just arrive for the Friday night, disappear, vanish, and come back to pitch on the Sunday, because they'll miss out on all the shared experience. They'll miss out on the learning opportunities. They'll miss out on the industry engagement piece, and they miss out from the connections and just having the fun, I guess, of the experience as well. So we do ask that you come along. Now, look, if you've got to drop the kids off at a sport event, or you have something else, an obligation where you have to duck out for a period of time, just chat to us. That's absolutely fine. We can manage you through all of that as well. But the doors do open pretty early each day. We do kick you out at night, so it's not a 24-hour work-through event. You do get to go home and sleep. And as I said before, we do get to feed you as well. So we try and take care of all your life admin so you can be really focused on what you're doing. Outside of that, that's probably it in terms of the information that you need to know. Deb, was there anything that you would like me to add, or any other sort of thoughts that I've missed perhaps in some of the information there?
That all sounds really good to me, Aaron. Probably a point of contact for us. So if somebody needs to get in contact with me or yourself, they can simply come to the Split Spaces email address, so manager@splitspaces.com.au. And if people want to ask you a question specifically, how would they get in contact with you, Aaron?
Yeah, so my best email is aaron@tribeglobal.com.au. I'll add that into the slide deck that I share around, and Deb, you can feel free to share that. It's just got more information about the event, very similar to what's on the website, but also frames some of the reasons why you should participate, who's welcome, and all of that as well. And we should point out, we do have 2 other information sessions coming up. One more around the specifics of the challenges and the event on the whole. But the last session will also be how to prepare yourself to get the most out of the weekend. So this is really, thinking a little bit about your mindset, what you might want to achieve, but then also how to prepare yourself coming in and what sort of equipment and things you might want to bring along as well.
Yeah, and I think in that one, you're also going to talk about collaboration and IP, because if a team comes together and puts together a fantastic solution, then how do you manage the legals around that moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll definitely go through that. We'll also go through some of the team dynamic issues, how to work together as a team of strangers in some cases. Some of you may know each other before, obviously, but we'll have tips for all of that as well.
Yeah, one of the frequently asked questions that I have, people coming to me saying, do I come as an individual or can I bring a team? Because, maybe there's a group of people out there that want to collaborate specifically on something. So maybe we can talk to that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So obviously everyone's welcome. If you already have a team and you work together well, that's fantastic. Come together as a team. But individuals, don't feel excluded. Come together, join a team. You might even find that you become the leader of a team and actually rally others together. One thing I'd probably encourage participants to think about, even where you have come with a formed team, which is fantastic, is to also have a bit of an open mind. Once you're in the room and you start seeing the challenges and you start seeing the teams unfold, actually have an open mind where maybe you might want to actually shift teams as well if there's an area you can add expertise to. And that's also something I'd encourage you to, a bit of the spirit of the weekend is an attitude of give first. So even if you are operating on a team and you've got a well-formed team over the weekend, if you're a subject matter expert in one particular thing, or you're just really good at something and another team is a bit stuck, just donating or volunteering half an hour or an hour of your time to that other team just to help them with that would be really powerful. And it is the nature of the event. It's a way that we all get an opportunity to share our knowledge, to practice teaching other people our knowledge, but that give first attitude means that we can all get a better outcome. So yeah, have a bit of an open mind with your team, but absolutely individuals are really welcome. We encourage individuals and teams to come along to the event.
Great, fantastic. Brent, did you have anything to add?
Not at this stage. I think it'll be interesting to see the next 2 pieces of content that will come out. So I guess stay tuned for those. The links will come out to people via email as well.
Excellent.
Yeah. And all the event logistics are obviously up on the website. So just www.mackhack.com.au. The details of how to get to the venue if you haven't been there before, definitely come and check that out. And the details of timing and whatnot as well.
And the registration link.
Yes, the key point. If you haven't already registered, hopefully we've just sold you to come and participate. So please do register. Obviously for us, the earlier we get the registration details, the more we can plan for our catering and everything else. So the earlier you can register, the better. And back to the point of teams and individuals, once you do register, go and convince 3 of your friends to come and join you, because the experience you'll have, the fun you'll have will be just made that little bit extra by the more people you involve as well.
Yes, I can certainly testify to having an amazing weekend. I stayed away from these hackathons for a while because I was like, oh, that all sounds a little bit daunting. And then I went along to one and I honestly had just an amazing time. I learned so much. I learned from people that I didn't expect to be learning from. I was able to share some things with people that made me feel really great because I was contributing. And yeah, I absolutely think that it's a great idea for people to get onto the Facebook page, make a decision to come themselves and register, and then just start tagging their friends.
Yeah.
You know, I have to organise the catering, and I'm just going to cater for 50 people. We had 30 at the event last year, and it was fantastic. And I think that this year we can definitely help industry solve some of those challenges. And just like it says, you know, dare to disrupt, because that's what this age of business is all about, is just coming up with these cut-through ideas that make a real change to industry. And we all know that now is the time for some serious disruption in a lot of the mining space to make production more efficient, to, you know, help with our global warming, to help with safety, to help with environmental problems. So, you know, there's going to be a range of problems presented, and I'm sure that people will be able to relate to one of them.
I think that's a really good point, because often, you know, we can hear mining sector and we immediately have this vision of what a solution might involve. And we forget that, you know, these industry operators have HR issues, they have supply chain issues, they have transport logistic issues. They're impacted by weather and natural environments. So the range of problems to be solved, and obviously we have these challenges, but the range of solutions and different approaches to that, it's actually phenomenal what might come out of this. And we don't, that's the beauty of it. It's part of the excitement, is we don't know.
Yeah, and I think that really speaks to what you're talking about before, as far as it doesn't matter where, if you're involved in mining, fantastic, you can definitely contribute from that perspective, but some of these issues can be solved from looking through a different lens as well. And so, you know, coming from a different business background, just because you're not in mining doesn't mean you can't get involved in being able to participate in the weekend, and then take some of those skills back to your own sector as well.
Yeah, and it is. I'm very similar, Deb. I remember the first hackathon event I went to. I was actually in Melbourne, and someone said, "Hey, just come and check out this event. Just pop in on the Friday night and see what it's all about." And I went in. I left my wife and kids at the hotel, and I said, "I'll just be back in like an hour." I actually ended up getting completely hooked. I stayed there until the Sunday night. My family didn't see me at all the weekend. I just became addicted. And that's what really got me on this path where now I've facilitated 60 plus of these things.
Yeah, and like, you're a sought-after facilitator across the globe. So, you know, aren't we absolutely fantastically very blessed to have you facilitating the MackHack weekend, and I'm sure that will help to contribute to the success of the weekend. So really looking forward to sharing your knowledge with our people up here.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to it too. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone, all of you that come along and being involved, and I'll be very much on the journey with each of you. But please do reach out. I'll share my direct contact details, but please do reach out at any time, just aaron@tribeglobal.com.au if you do have any questions, or if you'd like any advice on how to prepare. I'm here just to answer all of those for you.
Great, excellent. Well, I think that's probably enough from us, Aaron. And we'll see you this time next week for our next instalment.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Great, thanks. Bye.
Bye.